Yeah, I think if you look at college graduates in the U.S., a year after they graduate in America, 50% of those students are unemployed or underemployed, meaning they spend $200,000 on an education for the most part that doesn't immediately provide a return on investment or that they didn't really need. So we've always talked about the American dream as being something that where anyone could move to America, foreseeably send their kids to college, their kids would do better than they did. And instead what we're doing is graduating generations of people that are $200,000 in debt, move back in with their parents if they're lucky enough to, and struggle for the next 10 years of their lives. And it's not really fair to those people. So what we're trying to do is teach people the skills that they need to find jobs.
As a political science major at Columbia University, Zach Sims had already planted one foot in the door of the tech industry. By the summer of his junior year, he had worked with startups GroupMe and Dropio while expanding his impressive resume in academics. After deciding he had accomplished everything he could have wanted in college, Sims decided to drop out of school, 1 year before earning his bachelor's degree. Despite removing himself from the more conventional system, he never stopped his education. Along with his co-founder and former classmate Ryan Babinski, Sims founded Codecademy, which provides free online lessons that teach users the art of computer programming. Since launching in August 2011, over 24 million people have signed up to try one of Codecademy's courses. According to Sims, programming is the key to the future, and Codecademy is trying to lead the way.
So when someone drops out of college, like me, I've done a lot of reading on how to manage the company that I'm building, and what always ends up happening is I read something and it's never really useful until I have a way to experience it, and a way to actually go through with what I'm learning. So I think the publishing industry sort of needs to find a way to bring together experience and books to create a new, more cohesive learning experience that people can understand and actually internalize, as opposed to just thinking that learning is cemented when you're in college. I think college is really useful because it gives you kind of an introduction both to fundamental things you should know most of the time, fundamental concepts, but also to really great people, depending on where you go to school. And I think that's one of the major things I got out of school was the opportunity to interact with and meet really, really awesome people that are still friends.
Where Zach and I really bonded in college, it was very clear to us that one of the major challenges to be solved was this growing skills gap. That graduates are not able to jump, or increasingly not able to jump between graduating with a degree and the skills that a company requires to provide a valuable service to the economy.
Everything that we work on in the modern world is in some way dependent on technology, right? And software is sort of eating every different industry, whether it's journalism, which is moving more and more online, or whether it's a field like agriculture where people are using algorithms to figure out where they should plant their crops, when they should water them, stuff like that. And I think understanding sort of the fundamental underpinnings of all of that comes back to understanding programming and code.
What are we all going to do? Are we all just going to be sitting in like windowless cubicles coding Madden 3000? What will America be producing if we're all coding?
So I think every industry will change based on people understanding programming.
So by 2020, there's supposed to be 1 million more jobs than there are people that know how to program in the US. That's kind of a scary fact, I think, for us, right? That a lot of these jobs will end up being transferred to other places if we don't learn the essential skills. But more so, I think it's lagging behind in innovation if we don't learn how to program. You look at countries that are inventing, countries that are creating, and historically they've all had strong math and science programs. And I think this is really a core component of the math and science of the future is really computer science.
We try to reduce the beginning steps of learning how to code to its simplest form in a way that is totally inviting. And what we mean by that is we really just want to focus on the core basic concepts. Once people start to build momentum on those basic concepts, it's easier to then move on to the harder concepts.
The coolest part about knowing how to code is being able to create anything you think about, and I think that is really reflected in what we did with Codecademy. We built something for ourselves, and we put it online, and millions of people have used it since then, which sort of never ceases to amaze us.
For me, in the end of the day, again, apart from the design challenge, what makes me wake up in the morning every single day with a smile on my face, knowing that we are changing many people's lives across the world and having a direct impact in their professional careers.
Yeah, I think we're here for 20 or 30 years to build a business that's worth billions of dollars, right? I think we want to build the best vehicle for social change like we're trying to do is a business that has lasting impact on the world, that has lasting revenue, that can sustain itself for for decades.
You have to constantly be learning new skill sets. We now all know that we're not going to have one career for our lives, so why have one educational experience for our lives?
The scary thing to me is a lot of people end up spending 20 years of their lives doing things that they don't like because they have to make money and they never really think about trying different things. And I think the thing that I did in college and kind of realized was this is what I wanted to spend my life doing, starting companies, building things. I encourage people to kind of find that in their own lives and really experiment with a bunch of different things until they find what they care about and then spend time doing that.
For some reason, I feel like the culture in New York and San Francisco and LA, like people will reward ballsiness. If you've got some crazy idea and you seem to have the intellect to execute and like a track record of not screwing people, people will believe in you and put a bet behind you.